who had the power to just grab you off the street with no jury or anything and just sterilize you. That's what the family courts were founded for. And they're not due process. They're extra-constitutional. They're outside the purview of checks and balances, the Constitution, Bill of Rights. It's like, and people say, well, how does that happen with the Constitution, Bill of Rights? Well, you have to enforce that. You know, black people weren't considered human, and they could be lynched for no reason. They weren't allowed to own guns when everybody else was. That was against the Constitution, but people had to stand up and demand their rights. So that's why we have these criminal, predatory courts where the judges even get part of the money of seized children. Each year, there are tens of thousands of confirmed cases, you mean in your kangaroo court, of child abuse or neglect in Texas. This includes emotional, physical, or sexual abuse. Now, there's no law saying you can't scream at your children when they run out in the street. There's no law saying that. But they will take your children if you don't know your rights and don't defend yourself, and they're teaching the public, and they teach you here. If somebody screams at a child, now the government can taser a 5-year-old, and the teachers can scream at you, and the cops can scream at you. But parents can't say, no, stay away from that space heater, or no, you do not go in the street. I've told you. By the way, it's not illegal to spank your child, but they still seize children for that. This includes emotional, physical or sexual abuse, pain that no child should be forced to endure until they get in government-controlled hands, and they're 5 times more likely, until they get locked up in a cage and fed 1 hot dog a day. By the way, the government has ruled, you can pull this up, that foster parents are allowed to cage children. But if you cage your child, which I'm not for, you get in trouble. So they warehouse them, they cage them, they get money for them. And they get more when they put them on drugs. That's why more than 2/3 of American foster children are on average, 7 psychotropic drugs. Pain that no child should be forced to endure. It is pain that can last a lifetime. In Williamson and Travis County, thousands of cases of child abuse or neglect are investigated each year. Confirmed cases leave innocent children victimized, scarred and emotionally damaged. Abuse and neglect does not simply affect one child or one family. It is felt in schools, neighborhoods, and communities. Most frequently, the cycle of child abuse can repeat itself in families generation for generation for generation. See, this is the state coming in and taking over families. We can stop child abuse, but children can't always speak for themselves. Sometimes we have to speak for them. Now, let's hear what they say could be signs of abuse. If a child's being bad at school, got to be taken. The first step in helping an abused or neglected child, or a child that's drunk a bunch of Coca-Cola, is to recognize the symptoms and signs of abuse, whether it's neglect or physical, sexual, or emotional abuse. Here are some of the signs you should look for. A child shows signs of malnutrition or begs or hoards food. Really, my kids are pretty plump, but they're always begging for sweet treats. Sorry, got to take them. Poor hygiene. You see, if a child wipes their nose at school on their shirt and they see that snot, a little bit of snot, that's in the CPS manuals. Kid's gone. You turn them over to them, they get snot on their face, gone. I've been there. I've seen them take kids for this. Unattended physical or mental problems. Well, they say everything's a mental problem now, and they threaten parents all the time. The school aren't doctors, but they say, you put your child on Prozac, you put them on Ritalin. They don't tell them stop giving them soft drinks, or the school shouldn't be giving them Cokes and sweets and all the stuff that makes them crash. Nutrition's all of it. Oh, they say, you don't put your child on Ritalin, we're going to take them. And they do it every day across the nation. See how they disguise all this psychological warfare? The child shows signs of malnutrition or begs or hoards for food, poor hygiene, unattended physical or mental problems. So that's anything they want. The parent or caregiver abuses drugs or alcohol. And see, they don't tell you. You go in, they're now doing this, I've seen the news reports, and they ask you, hey, are you a drinker before you have this surgery on your gallbladder? Yeah, I drink a few beers every night. And I remember in one case, they took the guy's kids because he said, yeah, I drink a 6-pack every night. No login. Took his kids. Took his kids. And see, it was all, no judge, no jury, no none. They just did it. Well, it was a kangaroo judge, but no jury. Unexplained bruises, burns, or welts. I mean, my children are constantly running around outside. They're constantly, getting bruises and things. And they go to the government training camp. They're there watching. They're there looking. They're there, seeing what's happening, looking for an excuse. A child is frightened of a parent. Well, I mean, a child, if they've been caught doing something bad, and you say, you've been bad, and the child goes like that, oh, that's it, not allowed. Inappropriate knowledge about sex or age-inappropriate play. See, they put sex all over TV, all over mainstream news, all over commercials. It's all over the society. And children do all this stuff naturally. They can never see anything, and they're going to try to play doctor. That's basic child psychology. Go take it. I took a course in that in school, in college. It's right there. Doesn't matter. You see, oh, that's another reason to get them. Extreme mood swings. Well, you got kids on Ritalin and Prozac with it, or you got kids on all the sugar and dyes and toxins and GMOs. That's basically every kid in America. So now, boy, that kid's throwing a fit. I better call the police on him. Oh, man. And all the time, every time I talk to these parents, I'm like, well, how did this happen? Well, my children, my 5- and 6-year-old, were playing in the backyard on Saturday, and I was watching them out of the window, and it's a fenced backyard. And that night, the CPS showed up and demanded to come in the house and said they'd arrest me if I didn't sign a paper. But the paper said that I agreed that I was abusive. I didn't know that, and then they took them, and it's been a year since I saw my children. No due process. It's just all made up. So I want to get Children at Heart Ministries on the show, and I want to and then it also lectures the parents. See, the parents are bad. The state and their cohorts are 5 times more likely, and they're the ones with the bad record of hurting people. The state and the government and their minions and those profiting from this. But they're going to tell. They're also going to have the moral high ground. They're going to tell you you're bad. Parents are bad. You know, you're evil. Children need to know that they are special, loved, and capable of following their dreams. Help a friend, neighbor, or relative. Offer a helping hand. Take care of the children so the parents can rest or spend time together. See, now this tells you to spy on everybody, and then it goes, go get in everybody's business right here. Help yourself when the big and little problems of your everyday life pile up on you to the point where you feel overwhelmed and out of control. Take time out. Don't take it out on your child. See, they're telling you you're abusive. Because somebody reads this and they go, my God, you know, my children get scared of me when I yell at them for running out in the street. Or, my gosh, my kids have mood swings, which is a normal part of life. I must be bad. See, they tell 13-year-old girls now and boys, oh, you're feeling upset. You're feeling, all these feelings that you need Prozac and Ritalin. See how they're telling you there's something wrong with you. Be a nurturing parent. Help a friend, neighbor, or relative. Help yourself. Get involved. Ask your community leaders, clergy, library, and schools to develop services to meet the needs of healthy children and families. Now, that's because most of the 26,000 churches are under FEMA's secret control. We got you the documents. It's now in the news. Training for gun confiscation, going to FEMA camps, training parents. That's in the documents to turn loose of their parents to go to FEMA camps. So that's so you go ask to be part of what most of these government-controlled churches are already involved in. Volunteer at a local child abuse prevention program. And then this is to get you to be a volunteer spy for information about volunteer opportunities. Report suspected child abuse or neglect. And all the time they take children. The neighbor, little old lady that went to one of these training seminars, I saw him, yes. She pulled out to the mailbox and got out of the car while her children were in it, and the car was running. Thank you so much. We need you to file that report with us online. We'll be there tomorrow. Boom, kids are gone. See it all the time. Oh, yes, your child slips out of their car seat as you pull up to the house, cops are waiting, they take them. We've had Austin cases of that. They see you run in the house for a minute. They see your child run out to your car when you pull up with a T-shirt on when it's cold weather. Your children are gone. By the way, you think I'm joking, don't you? I study this every day. I know what's going on. I understand what we're dealing with. I'm not kidding about this. Just type into Google, child dies in foster care. And you'll see hundreds of articles from just in your town, your city, your county. And then, type in child dies in foster care, Austin, Texas. Child dies in foster care, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Child dies in foster care, Oklahoma City. Sometimes you'll get 2 or 3 articles a day. Because this is an industry for lazy pieces of trash who warehouse these children. Listen, I worked for one summer as a carpet cleaner. Back in 1993. 1994. I worked as a carpet cleaner at Stanley Steamer Carpet Cleaner. And let me tell you, you see something when you work for a carpet cleaner. And we go in houses with cat piss everywhere and dog crap everywhere and fleas jumping all over your legs. But it paid so much, like 20-something bucks an hour back then. That was like, whoa, because you got to pay people to do that work. And I I remember I'd go into these houses and you'd always smell marijuana. You'd see whiskey bottles and stuff. There'd be some drugged out looking guy laying in front of the couch, in front of the TV on the couch. And you'd be going to the rooms. This is so incredible. And there'd be all these children there. They'd be 5, they'd be 8, they'd be 10. They'd look all skinny and scared. And sometimes they'd be in their underwear and they'd crawl kind of up in a corner. And I was like, what the hell is this? It's like everything in my life has trained me for now what I'm doing. And it was always, I'm like, what is this place? I'm a foster parent. There'd be pot seeds and a can with the lid half, they're not even hiding their pot. And you know why? Because they're untouchable. Cops won't come there for their pot. They can do whatever they want to the children because the government doesn't want to report on itself. They are above the law. And I saw that over and over and over again. You'd be in a house with cat piss, with fleas, and it'd be foster children.